So let's talk about Valentine's Day. How to not be miserable on Valentine's Day. If you are in a relationship, if you're not in a relationship, if you have friends, if you don't have friends, we're going to be covering it all in this episode. So make sure you tune in. Welcome back to another episode of Way Too Wifey. I'm your host, respectfully Gabby, and in this podcast, we talk all things dating, relationships, and of course, self-love in this modern day. And if you are new here, hi, I'm Gabby. I'm an online dating coach where I help you transform your confidence to live your best lives inside and outside of relationships. So if you are tired of being stuck in the same unfulfilling patterns, if you are tired of feeling stuck where you stand, the same situationships that you keep falling into, my 8-week transformation program may be exactly what you need to get started. I've designed this program for my anxious attachment girlies to help overcome your anxious attachment, your people-pleasing tendencies, your relationship self-sabotage, and your low self-esteem. What makes this program unique is that it's backed by science-based strategies combined with subconscious reprogramming to help you rewire and reframe your brain to feeling like your best self again. With direct one-on-one support from me, we'll dive deep in retraining your brain so that you can start attracting and keeping better in your life. So if you're ready to get started today, hit the link in my bio, book a discovery call with me. Also, huge news, I got some updates for you guys. I am releasing some merch. I'm dropping hoodies. They will be available for order on January 29th. I have a couple different colors, this gray one and then some other ones that will be available online on the link on my bio. So go check that out. Sign up for my newsletter so you don't miss anything coming out, any hot tea that I'm going to be telling you, any promotions, and sometimes free giveaways for coaching sessions. So go hit the newsletter. I promise you won't regret it. It's only once a week. I promise I won't bombard you with emails. Okay. Also, if you could hit the like, hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notification so you'll never miss another episode. Make sure to leave that 5-star rating if you've been watching this for a while and you have gotten some ounce of value out of this. Please hit the 5-star rating or the thumbs up. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. You could be tuning in to any podcast and you are tuning in to mine today. So I appreciate you as always. Okay. If you don't have friends and you aren't in a relationship and you're like, oh my God, Valentine's Day, I really love it. There's this high expectation, whatever. I get it. Here now is the time for you to put yourself out there, find new ways to connect with people, find new ways to find your crew. If you are all by yourself and you're like I wish I had people or at least things to do, join some kind of like activity that has a lot of socialization, because Valentine's Day aside, you deserve to have a crew of people that are in your inner circle that you can turn to, that you can hang out with, that you can vent to. You deserve to have a group of people, or even maybe just even one good friend, one solid friend to do things with. So let this be your wake up call. Let this be your time to actually go out and start meeting people. Let this be the year that you become more social, that you want people to show up for you. And I will also say, date yourself, figure out yourself and what you want out of a friendship, what you want out of a relationship, and treat yourself. If you're like, oh my God, I literally have no one, treat yourself how you would want a relationship to treat you. So if you're alone on Valentine's Day and you're like, ugh, this sucks, I hate being single, I hate not having friends, buy yourself flowers, take yourself on a date. And maybe it doesn't have to be on Valentine's Day, but take yourself on a date. However you want a partner to show up for you, start showing up for yourself in that way, whatever your love language is. So let's say it's quality time. Spend some more time with yourself. Take yourself on a date. If it's gifts, buy yourself a little gift for Valentine's Day. Like, make yourself feel special. Acts of service. Maybe cook yourself a nice little meal and set up the table nicely and make this day about you and how you want to be treated, so that when someone else comes into your life, you're already doing those things for yourself. That is my biggest piece of advice. If you're single and no friends, date yourself, but also figure out a way to meet new people and to put yourself out there. I get that it's scary and I get that sometimes you just don't want to do it and it just feels better to be like a homebody, but leave your house. This is the only way that you're going to find friends and can actually connect with people. Now let's talk about if you actually do have friends. Like, let's say you have a group of girls, or you have one girl or friends that you talk to or whatever. Say, for starters, they're in relationships. Of course, they're probably going to be doing something with their significant others on this day. But if they're not, bitch, you better be planning a Galentine's Day. I'm obsessed with Galentine's Days. I have been celebrating one for the past 4 years since I've been single. And I just think that they're more fun, honestly, than a Valentine's Day. Every time I go out to dinner on Valentine's Day or I go out and about with my friends on Valentine's Day, it is so much more of a fun time than the couples that I'm looking at that look absolutely miserable. And I'm not saying that every couple is miserable. I'm not saying that at all. But the couples that I do see, I'm like, they're on their phones, they're texting whoever, God knows. And they don't look like they're having a good time most of the time. Going out with my girlfriends, look around, you'll see other single people, and it's always the girls that are having like the time of their lives, and they're just being themselves, and they're just hanging out and having a good time, laughing, whatever. It's always those people that are having more of a fun time than actually being in a relationship on Valentine's Day. And let this be a reminder that just because someone's in a relationship on Valentine's Day doesn't mean they're having a good time. Doesn't mean that that person is actually showing up for them the remainder of the 365 days a year. Okay. This could just be the one time that they have to shine. And don't judge yourself like, oh, well, they have everything and I don't have anything. No, you have your happiness. You have your peace. You have no one to worry about. You have your peace at night going to bed. That is so much more valuable than a relationship that is making you miserable and causing you stress. Okay. So keep that in mind. The people that are having the most fun on Valentine's Day are the Galentines, are my girls. Okay. Not only that, but definitely go out on Valentine's Day, because if you go out with your group of girls and you see a group of guys, you already know that they're single. Already know that they're looking to meet people and want to have fun and have a good time. You might as well take this advantage to celebrate Singles Awareness Day and go out with your friends and have a good time. Celebrate the platonic love that you have for them. My favorites are Valentine's Day. So if you need some suggestions, I have done like a little beach picnic. I mean, honestly, like you fucking Pinterest it, Google it, ChatGPT it, but there's so much that you can do for Valentine's Day. And I just think it really makes me appreciate the girls that I do have in my life every year. So shout out to the girls that I've spent Valentine's Day with. Now, moving on to situationships. This is the day, truly, that you find out whether or not you're the main piece or the side piece if you are in a situationship. If you are the side piece, let's be honest, he's gonna ghost you all day and then be like, oh my God, so sorry, I had such a crazy day yesterday. And if this happens to you, please leave him where he's at. If you are looking for anything serious, leave that man alone. Ghost that man, move on with your life. You are not the one for him. But if he just, But if he actually shows up for you on this day, I'm not saying that that's your soulmate. I'm not saying that that's your man, because I do think that the worst man can show up for you on this day and like plan this extravagant thing and make you feel like a princess and a queen, whatever, just so he can love bomb you and get what he wants out of you. But I think you'll tell a lot by this day on how he's decided to treat you. But again, I think it's just a day. You have to look for consistency. If he's only showing up one day out of the year, that's probably not your man. Don't let him fool you into thinking that you guys are bigger than what you actually are just because he wants to make you feel special one day a year. Just know that the right man is going to show up for you regardless. He's going to stay special for you. And if he's not, or if you have to question it or question where you stand, that's probably not your guy. If he's making it a point to actually plan something and do something with you, you can almost guarantee you guys are probably on the same page about wanting a relationship, because honestly, what man, unless he's love bombing you and like, but also disrespecting you, I think you know in your gut. Okay, that's what I'll say. I think you know in your gut whether or not this is the right person. But if he's planning something with you and he wants to do something with you, it's probably a pretty good sign that you guys are equally on the same page. But moving on to if you are in a relationship. Okay, first of all, if you are in a relationship, do not forget your single friends. Still hang out with them, plan a different Galentine's, like make them feel special too. But if you are in a relationship, communication is key on this day. If you are in a relationship and you know that this is an important day for you and you are a lover girl and you love romance and feeling loved and being special, communicate that with him. But there is a way to go about that communication. One way is demanding that he treats you in a certain way. And another way is allowing him to either show up or drop the ball, and allowing him to show you if this is the right relationship for you. One way, let's talk about the first way, is if you allow the man to show up for you or not, you're basically saying like, hey, I actually really love this day. Tell him how much it means to you. I'm so excited. Like, I'm looking forward to spending time with you on this day. Make him feel good about it so that he knows how important it is to you. And with that information, first of all, men are not stupid. They're hearing this and he's like, okay, I'm going to either do something or I'm not. If he doesn't do something when he knows that it's important for you, that's not your man. That is not your man. But if you're like, I expect a dinner, I expect this, I expect flowers, and I need you to show up for me on this day, he's probably going to be like, okay, well, like, I didn't even have the decision to make that on my own. I would have probably done something, and now you saying it's like, now I'm annoyed. But I will say, communication is key. And there's this quote that I absolutely love that says, unspoken expectations are premeditated disappointments. I love this quote because, let's be honest, if you're not talking about what you like and what you need out of a relationship, how is that person ever going to know what's important for you? And yes, I get that it kind of takes the romance out of it or whatever, but if something's important for you and you know you're going to be disappointed if that person doesn't show up for you, you better speak your mind and say how much you love it. And not say, oh, well, like, I expect this from you, right? Because it does come across as a bit of a different energy. Expectations versus, hey, this is what I like. And now you're allowing him to either show up or not. The man is not dumb. He knows what you want out of this. And if he decides to not do that, that is not your man. Take the softer approach here. Show up in your feminine. Tell him how much you love receiving flowers. Tell him how much you love this holiday because you love romance and you're such a lover girl. Whatever the case is, tell him all of that. Don't tell him that he needs to do something for you or you're not going to feel special, because that comes across as needy, naggy, and he's going to be like, ew, she's not going to control me. She can't tell me what to do. Okay. And men do not like being told what to do. Comparison is the killer of all joy. So don't compare yourself to another relationship that man is showing up for her consistently and he's buying the extravagant things and sending massive flowers to her work. Like, if you compare yourself in her relationship to what you have in front of you, you're going to be mad at your person, right? So set the expectation that you love this holiday, right? But also, don't compare yourself to what's going on in someone else's relationship. Maybe they're in the brand new phase of a relationship and he is love bombing her and he doesn't even care about her, but wants to show off, and his ego is getting in the way. He's like, let me send this massive bouquet of flowers so that everyone knows that she's with me, right? That could potentially be what's going on here. So stop comparing yourself, because you never know what's going on the other end of things. Choose to see your relationship as what they do on a consistent basis, not just that one day of whether or not they show up for you. But I will say again, communicate your needs. And if they're not met, then you're probably with the wrong person. Consistency is key. And I do think that if a man is choosing not to show up on this day, when he knows that it's important for you, he's proving to you that he just doesn't care that much. And is this really the relationship? I've seen so many people break up around this day because it's like, he's choosing to show you that he doesn't care that much. It's up for you to listen. That is it for this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that you enjoy your Valentine's Day. Take this time to reflect. What is it that you want? If you don't care about Valentine's Day, you probably didn't tune into this episode regardless. But what is it that you want to get out of this Valentine's Day, regardless of where you're at? And make it a point to connect with all of the people that you love in your life, not just the romantic ones. Well, that is it. And I will see you all next Tuesday.